Home Slices? Is Kiara with Home Slice Adulting, and today I'm coming to you live from my kitchen. It's kind of small and there's some dishes in the sink, but don't judge me. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 tips that I use whenever I'm grocery shopping now that I'm trying to live a healthier lifestyle. So let's get started with number 1. The first item on the list is to plan your list. There's a saying that says if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And it's really true. I mean, if you go into a grocery store without a plan, you're simply asking to pick up something in the candy aisle, or maybe in the chips aisle, or the Little Debbie aisle, whatever your guilty pleasure is. If you plan your meals, you can plan your ingredients, and you know exactly what to get from the grocery store. So write it down. If you Google food planning templates, a lot of different things come up. So there's a lot of things that you can choose from. They're almost all just one page, and this is a really simple one that I have started using. There are 7 days over here on the left side, and on the right is where you can write your grocery list. And that brings me to number 2. Organize your grocery list. So there's 2 different types of people or grocery shoppers. There's the person who goes once a week to get everything they need for that week, and that person is me. And then there's that grocery shopper that goes more often than once a week. If you're like me and you're the type of person who goes grocery shopping once a week, it's probably best for you to organize your grocery list according to the way the store is set up. On my refrigerator, I have a template here that I can use, but that I usually don't use to organize the type of grocery list that I have. So it's organized according to produce, dairy products, meat and poultry, frozen foods, canned goods, and pantry items, so that when you're in one section of the store, you can get everything you need on your list from that section of the store. So if you're like me and grocery shop once a week or even less often, you should probably organize according to the way the store is set up. Now, if you do like to go to the grocery store more often, you can organize your list the way that I am organizing my list now, and that's according to date. So from Sunday to Saturday, I have all of the things that I plan to eat on this side, and then the grocery list over here. So as I'm planning the meals in order, I'm writing down the ingredients in order. So say if I wanted to shop for Sunday through Wednesday, then I know where to stop on my list, and then when I go back to shop for Thursday through Friday, I can complete getting all the ingredients on my grocery list. And it makes for shorter grocery trips, especially for people with kids. That brings me to rule number 3. Now, tips number 1 and 2 started before you even really got into the grocery store. And that's the whole point. You can't just go in the grocery store and expect not to mess up. Tip number 3 is all about when you're actually in the grocery store. And that tip is do not shop on an empty stomach. And you know, a little addendum to that rule is to not shop with someone who is not as health focused and health minded as you are as well. If you go into a grocery store hungry, it's almost guaranteed that you're gonna come out with something that's really not good for you, or something that you really don't need. So eat a little snack before you go grocery shopping. It doesn't have to be a full meal. It can be a piece of fruit, it can be some celery and some peanut butter, but something to settle in your stomach to tell your brain, don't be tempted by all these goodies in the grocery store. And also, I know people with children usually have to shop with children, and I really don't have, a solution for you. But for those of us who are single and who don't have children, yeah, don't shop with somebody who's not health-minded like you are. Tip number 4 is especially important for 2 types of people. The first person is the one who's trying to eat healthier on a budget, and the second person is the one who lets food spoil a little too often. Tip number 4 is to buy the correct quantities for what you need. So a lot of us have gotten into the hype of places like Sam's and Costco, and while I am definitely a collegiate member of the Sam's Club, It's important to know that if you buy items in bulk that have an expiration date or that spoil, you can end up losing money and wasting money as opposed to saving money because you bought it in bulk. I hope that made sense. Tip number 5 is also for inside the grocery store. So when you're grocery shopping, stay out of the center aisles and go around the aisles. Shop on the perimeters of the store, because the things that are on the perimeter of the store tend to be healthier. They are fresher because they have to be refrigerated, or or they're produce, fruits and vegetables. So by getting the majority of your items from the perimeter of the store, you avoid all of the processed foods that are in the aisles. Now, it's impossible. It's nearly impossible, I'll say, to stay out of those aisles, because chances are you'll need something that's in a can. Those are in the aisles. You'll need something inside of a box. Those are in the aisles. You need something in a bag. Those are in the aisles. So let's just say spend the majority of your time on the perimeter of the store. Now that's it for my grocery shopping tips, but there are two, count them, 2 bonus tips that I would like to share with you. And the first tip comes from my very own mother. Hi, Mom. Whenever you are putting your food items on top of the conveyor belt or counter at your grocery store, separate the items into cold and not cold. That way all of the cold items can keep that coldness in that area. So if you separate the items, your cold food is less likely to be lukewarm when you get home. Bonus tip number 2 is something my mother taught me and something I used back when I didn't have a car in college. If there are 2 people who are going to 2 separate households but transporting the groceries in the same vehicle, something that you can do to separate your groceries from theirs is to have one of you tie all of your bags before you pack them into the car. So as your groceries are coming off the conveyor belt and being bagged, you will tie yours and leave the other person's groceries untied so that you can visually see what groceries go where and who they belong to. So thank you guys for watching. I hope these tips are very useful for you. I'm going to do my best to stick to them so that I am not wasteful and so that I am healthy. You guys have a great day. Peace out, home slizzle.